And we're back. MilAM TV here in Tampa. And I have next to me the CEO of MatterProviders, Miss Michelle Meyer.
Thanks for having me, Kimberly.
Yes, I mean, you're one of my favorite guests because you speak on a topic that in the additive world, many are not familiar with or experienced in, and that is the issue of supply chains. And I'll say definitely, I feel there's been a theme today
I know.
among a lot of my guests, which I won't say was unintentional, but it's definitely been a heavy theme for this whole conference.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think we're experiencing the moment where the military is like, okay, we've done a lot of research, a lot of engineering, a lot of development on applications, processes, and materials, and now what are we going to make with it, and how are we going to get that to its destination?
Yes.
Which is the work of supply chain.
chain.
So I wonder.
Makes me very happy.
Well, I know, and you've taught a lot of us in the community about how to think about supply chain. So I'm wondering if you would just introduce yourself, your MatterProviders, and
Yes.
then we'll start talking.
Happy to. Yes, I am a 30-plus year supply chain person. I actually found it in college.
Oh,
Excuse me.
college.
Yes, they didn't call it supply chain.
They called it
then.
something else,
They
right?
called it transportation and logistics.
Okay, yeah.
Along with operations management. So over the course of my career, that all evolved into supply chain management, right? So I'm actually proud to be like the first cohort of supply chain professionals, right?
Yeah.
And so that's been my whole career.
But you have seen the changes in the way we think about
Yes.
it, the way we talk about it, and now we have the capability to do it at the point of need,
Yes.
which is the excitement about
That
this technology.
Is the excitement. That's the excitement from a supply chain perspective as well, is that technology's ability to produce at the point of need means the supply chains are going to be different. The supply chains are going to change. Our
Yes.
industrial supply chains will look different in some areas. They'll be the same in others, right? We'll figure out there's a lot of blending. But that ability to produce at the point of need and everything that drives in order to support that means that there will be new supply chains that have to come alongside and support that, which is, from a supply chain person's perspective, that's really cool, right? We get to build something new.
It is, and yet I don't think we have a strong vision as a, not just the additive community, but I'll say as a policy community, whether you're at the federal level, the local level, or even at the company level.
Yeah.
I don't really feel we have that vision yet for what the end last landscape should look like for
Yes.
supply chain. We know what it was.
Yes.
We know what we've seen, and we've slowly cobbled together what it is that we have.
Yes.
Certainly, I think it's no World War II reshaped what
Oh,
we thought
definitely.
relative to supply chains.
Definitely. Yes.
I think a lot of folks here have read the book Freedom's Forged. I know you have consulted that book, and it's been inspiring, and yet at the same time also giving us pause that that's not the same America we find ourselves in.
Right.
And so, and the technology has different conditions.
It does. And
So
implications.
it
Yeah.
does, and as we've added more and more rare earth materials,
Yeah.
and we've added a farther and farther flung supply base,
Yeah.
and we have a cacophony of allies
Yeah.
and frenemies.
Yes.
Not
Right.
the same, in my opinion. It's never really been more complicated than it is right now.
Right.
And we're in transition from
Yes.
what was to what we want to become, but we're not really sure.
Exactly.
And I'm going to add one more thing, and
Yes.
you check me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Is that we make decisions on such a short-term thinking basis, and you can't really develop this kind of vision for supply chains and industrial-based integration with a short-term, quarterly
Yes.
shareholder sentiment. It really is the business of governments and institutions to do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And I will say that with the institutions we are used to working with, they're in such transition at the moment.
Yeah.
I think chaos can be good because it does present opportunity,
It
as
does.
our previous guest said.
Yeah.
I believe that it also just creates chaos.
Sometimes, yes.
And so sometimes you just sit and do nothing because you don't know what to do.
Right, right.
And yet,
We have
that,
to do
that
something,
feels like not
right?
an option.
Right.
You mentioned the ability of time. Time makes a big difference. And I feel like we're in a crunch moment.
Yes.
I mean, I feel urgency that maybe it feels intrinsic to me that I want to get some of it figured out. So
and
what are the tools to figure it out, Michelle?
I think you said two things in the very last. The government is in the business of making those decisions, right, and determining where they are. And that's really, I think, the shift that we have begun to see as we all come together to discuss this, right, and it's really only been in the last couple of years that the conversation, even at events like this, have shifted to the business conversation, right? Like, how are we going to scale this? How do we build this? What are we going to have to put in place, right? All the technical people will tell you, we have figured out the technology, right?
Yes.
We can make the hard parts. We can solve the hard technical problems. We can manage the digital requirements. We can manage the information. They can do that. We have figured that out. But now the business ecosystem around that is going to be needed to scale that and to build that is just coming to the surface of really feeling like there's some urgency to that conversation, like you said. And I think that urgency or feeling like there's a bit of a time crunch is always a good thing, right? Because otherwise people will just kind of be like,
let's have a nice day.
We'll have a nice day and we'll figure it out eventually and we'll do it. So I think those two combinations of the awareness of, the discussion of, and the inclusion of everybody, government, business people, policy people, understanding that business conversation saying we have to have that conversation because that's what's going to drive investment and the supply chains.
Well, we have talked about this, and you've helped me understand it at a deeper level, that having my own small business also previously, I know when the DoD would make arbitrary changes in the schedule, or the government would shut down, or whatever, and as a small business,
it'll kill you.
Yeah. And we've had 2 shutdowns very recently that they're just nothing but harmful.
Right.
And so that urgency I'm feeling is to get some guardrails around it, because most additive companies are small.
Yes.
And this is a technology that our government is banking on for the future.
Right.
And frankly, our adversaries are banking on it as well. And if we are having shutdowns and here, run, no, stop, these signals are all messed up.
Yes.
As America Makes, what we're trying to do is even out that signal.
Yes.
And make some sense of it for the membership. And really have our membership function as the federated, integrated industrial base for the nation.
Yeah.
And we can't do that without some clarity. Right. And so the ability to force clarity is what we're doing. And you and I are working on this, right?
Yes, yes.
So just to share with you all, Michelle's been working as a member of America Makes to help guide the discussion and even chair the supply chain working group at America Makes. And we're having an inaugural meeting on Thursday morning here in Tampa, to release some results of a workshop report that we have to share with you. So if you're interested, put your comments in the LinkedIn social media, and we will make sure you get an invitation to that.
Yes.
It will be virtual as well as in person.
Awesome.
And so, Michelle, just pivoting from that, what are some of the highlights you think folks could expect to hear in that meeting without giving all of it away?
Yeah, okay, we won't give too much away, but it really is a follow-on to what you were just saying, right? And this was the feedback from essentially we asked a group of people, a cross-section of the industry, of what would we tell the government? The government says, we want to scale, we want to do it, and basically we went and said, you have to start walking the talk. And what that looks like is a business behavior of a clear, sustained demand signal for industry, right?
Yep. What do you want? When do you want it?
Right. And a commitment of what that means in terms of How long, right? You mentioned that we have to get out of the quarterly mindset. Like, this is like, where are we going to invest in the industrial base to create this capability? Where does it make sense to invest in additive applications? Where should we be deciding what makes sense to invest in, right? Based on what we need, based on what the government is going to decide they need.
Yes.
And so that rose to the top as the number one thing. That's the conversation we have to really elevate and accelerate
Yes.
with the government, and we have to come up with a way to do that. And we believe America Makes can be the leading consortium and collaborating organization that can help with that. But there's pure demand supply chain behaviors and capabilities that we can say, this is how we do this. This is what we're going to do. How do we give the government the ability to do that? As many people have said, like, the government doesn't even know in many cases, right, what machine material combinations are being used and have been invested in, and what capabilities exist in the industrial base today, right?
Capabilities and gaps.
Right, where they might have gaps. Like,
Yeah.
they might think this, a particular area is really important. Well, if we can lay out what that demand structure looks like today, and that gives them the ability to see where they can make appropriate demand signal and investment decisions in the future.
So we can
And
understand what's ready to go and what isn't.
Yes.
So yes, that's what you'll be hearing a little bit more
we'll
about.
talk more
and
about
some
that.
policy mechanisms
Yes.
to move beyond where we're at today.
Yeah.
We need to move off this point and
Yeah.
and advance the state of practice around AM supply chain.
Yeah.
And think about additive differently within a supply chain and
Yes.
articulate what that means. I would
Yeah.
say, as I said to you, you have done so much to help us create a language around additive and supply chain that I'll say, frankly, inside the Institute we did not have. Because it's been mostly about engineering and research.
The technical development.
Absolutely,
Right.
which
was very important.
extremely critical.
Right.
Now
Which is
we're-
why we have solved those difficult
Yes.
technical problems.
Very smart people have
Yes.
solved those, and now we have a lot of business and
Right.
contractual
And how are we going to deploy that?
logistical problems,
Yes.
and that takes a different genius and a different set of conversations and different people
Yes.
to really model the solutions.
Yeah.
So that's what we're attempting at our supply chain
Yeah.
working group,
Yeah.
and
Gonna
we hope that
start
you all want to
that.
be a part of that. The next phase of the Institute and the next phase of advancing additive beyond the technology.
Yes.
We know it's time,
Yes.
and
It's
using-
exciting time.
It is, and
Yeah.
using the expertise of you and many others
People like me.
who
Yeah.
work in supply chain inside even these prime defense contractors and smaller and consultancy firms that have
Lots of
really helped
experience.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Department of War knows it needs to change. It is attempting to do so, to turn that corner.
Yeah.
Turn the corner, turn the page, whatever,
Right.
be different.
And make good investment decisions, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And that is
we
what
can
it's
help
about.
them with that. Right.
I believe that, and I
Yeah.
think what you'll find is we've got some ideas and we've got some opportunities to share.
Yes.
So tune in, come join us.
Please.
Put your name in the chat if you want to be a part of it, or DM us, and we'll make sure you do. So, Michelle, thank you for all of your
Thank you
leadership.
for having me
Absolutely.
and for the opportunity to support America Makes in doing this. It's been really, really great.
We're
and
having
a lot
fun.
of fun. Exactly.
We are having fun.
That's
So-
exactly right.
We'll be back some other time. We want to make sure that you guys see this and join us if you care. Take care.